Hello, everyone. Welcome to the course Mechanized Excavation of Tunnels. I'm Daniela Garroux, and I'm going to be the instructor for this course. This is an online course, so there's a bit of a challenge to interact with all of you, but I'm sure that with all the platforms available, we can find a nice alternative for that. So this class here, this module is only to introduce what we are going to be tackling along this course, and also how is the grading and a little bit about me. Just to remind you that every video can have the maximum of 20 minutes. So in case, I don't think that's the case of this module, this introductory module, but in the other classes, so I will split the class, the presentation in parts of 20 minutes. So the course program, I think most of you already have access to that, but let's cite one by one. So the module 1, it's basically a general overview about mechanized tunneling projects, about the research, about the gaps in this research, what we still do not know, what we still need to research more. Also a little bit the history about mechanized tunneling, major breakthrough, challenge. So it's to give you a whole overview about this. The module 2, so then we are going to look into all the machine types. So we are talking about tunnel boring machines. So we're going to look into the technical details, all the functionality, all the parts of this machine, also a little bit how they interact with the ground, just a resume of that because we're going to dig deep into these details. And then how you choose a machine for a project. Module 3, we're going to look into the performance, penetration, and calculation of the excavation advance. So you have a project, it's coming up a project, you wanted to do a bidding for that, how you know more or less how long it's going to take, and also we look a bit into the cost calculation. Then we go into the rock excavation. We have to consider that 9 between 10 TBMs around the world are EPBs. So this course has a little bit more content on the EPB machine. But I'm still going to look into the rock excavation with grippers, single and double shield, talk about the ground treatments, and then all the innovations, the tools available today. Then the module 4, we enter soft ground excavation. We're going to talk about slurry shields, EPB machines. We are going to also look into the variable density machines, the multi-mode machines. Not so much because the variable machine, it's quite new. This has not been used in that many projects. And many things is very much related either to the slurry or to the EPB machine. We're going to look, we are talking about soft ground installation, soft ground excavation, so we have to talk about the ring, the segments, the precast concrete segments, production and installation. That's typical for this kind of machines. Also, we need to talk about hyperbaric interventions, and then we go into the phase pressure calculation. So how you can calculate your phase pressure, either for EPB or slurry shields. Module 5, we go into the EPB, then we going to dig deep into the EPB, excavation, ground interaction. So we're going to look into the conditioning and the flow. We're going to talk about clogging, about abrasivity, what we have available as laboratory tests, as field tests, mitigation measures. So in module 5, we really look into the EPB machine. Finally, on module 6, we're going to look into the data management of a tunnel excavation. That's very important for mechanized tunneling. We are also going to look into the project logistics, intervention, mug management, how the job site has to work, has to function. We need to look into the mechanized tunneling process as practically a industrialized process. It's like that the machine and the whole environment around works as a factory, a moving factory. So things are very linked, dependent on each other. If you stop in one place, the other also is going to stop. So project logistic is essential in mechanized tunneling. And then we're going to talk also about reuse of machines. That's very common nowadays. We talk about the difference between refurbishment and remanufacturing. And then we have a bonus module that we can talk, we can chat, we can about the challenge for, or the questions is still open. And then we also going to look to the project presentation of everyone that has done that. Evaluation and grading. So for every module, you will have an exercise with a certain percentage to the final grading. So the first exercise is just to write a resume about a well-known project, and as if you would be sending to a conference, and this is 20% of the final grading. I'm going to go through all the deliveries. So it's a great opportunity if you intend, for example, to go into the research and go into the or writing papers. This is a great opportunity to get some feedback on that. I have several publications. It was hard for me in the beginning, so I could give feedbacks I received from my professors. So module 2, we have, so we are going to, every module from 2 until the end, we're going to do a little part of a final project. So we're going to have a fiction project, so a project that does not exist, and we're going to go through the entire process. So the first part is to select the correct machine for this project. Then we're going to do some estimation of the excavation advance for a project. So how long it should take to complete this project. Then we're going to look into the phase pressure estimation. So what are my pressures, expected pressures. Then also is going to occur or not clogging, what's the estimation of clogging potential, where am I going to have problems with where or not. And then we're going to look into the planning, logistics of this final project. So in the end, you're going to put all that together as if it's a report. So imagine that you have been requested to do some consultants work for a project that's in early stages. So you need to deliver a little bit how is going to be my excavation, my mechanized tunnel excavation. So each one has a little percentage of the final grading. Available materials, so all these classes are going to be available in PDF. I'm also going to provide you lots of material, so for every module you're going to have a bunch of extra things to read, which I really encourage to do so. So I will, of course, there's some short ones like journal papers, also some long ones, theses and dissertations. So if you want to dig deep into any of these topics, you can do so as well. Whatever a publication is not open source, I'm not entitled to share that. For copyright reasons, so I will provide the link. Questions and answers. So we have an online forum. It is essential that we participate in this discussion. The course depends also on your interaction. to ask questions, to start discussions. This can really enrich the course. And then if you have also questions, you can do that via direct email. If you want to send something or if it does not fit into the online forum. Still, I think it's important that we really use the online forum as much as possible. Certificate, so if once you complete the course, you will get a diploma saying that you have completed. If you have done all the exercises, you have a diploma saying that you successfully completed the course. I see the exercise more as your own interest to learn, because it's totally different to just listen to something than to really put your hands on practice. So I really believe and suggest you do all the exercises. And all the diplomas are going to be sent by email. Okay, a little bit about me. I'm a geologist. I'm from Brazil, São Paulo, and I have completed my geology degree in 2000. I have been always involved with engineering geology, even though we do not have a specific course on that. But I have done a very long internship at the São Paulo Technological Research Institute that's very much involved in tunnel projects in early phases and also even accidents. So since my third year of university, I was involved with engineering geology. There was a gap in my life. I was away once I finished the geology degree. I traveled and I went to do some other things. I lived in many places. Then I felt something was missing in my life. And when I came back to tunneling, I realized that's what my passion was. So when I came back to São Paulo in 2011, I went back to engineering geology area. At first I was in borehole company doing some optical televiewer related to tunnel projects, but then I entered the São Paulo Metro company and then some mining, Yamana Gold for mining tunnels, some tunnel designers as well, and the Brazilian Geological Service. And then I did a master in mineral resources and hydrogeology. As I said, we don't really have not even a master's in engineering geology, but my master was engineering geology. That was the application of optical televiewer for tunnel design, São Paulo Line 4, Phase 3. Then while I was in my master, I found my passion in writing. In the beginning, as I said, was hard, but then I really enjoy writing, and I wrote lots of paper, which made easy to get an acceptance to do a PhD at Queen's University in Canada. I started there in August of 2015. After 6 months, I discussed with I was doing the PhD with Professor Mark Digeritz, and then I discussed with Professor Marcus Davis, because I was going towards mechanized excavation, and Marcus Davis is very well-known professor in this area in Germany, worldwide very well-known, as well as Professor Mark Digeritz. And then we decided to do a cooperation between the Canadian University and the German University in Bochum. So after the first 2 years in Canada, I moved to Germany. I did all my tests in Germany. I was going back and forth, and then at the end, I stayed in Germany. So I entered Herrenknecht. That's one of the biggest, I think, the biggest machine, TBM machine supplier in the world. That's in Germany, South Germany. And that was fantastic because I could continue research but that's industrial research, so you can do lots of things, much more than you have the funding for doing many things you want, and you are also connected with real projects. You cannot share that much, but you can learn a lot. You can create a lot. I was also part of the DGGT. That's a group in the civil engineer of Germany, and then we have this group of tunnel boring machines. So I was part of. I think I was the only one that could not really speak that good German. That was a challenge, but I could also learn a lot. Then I moved to the Babendererdis engineer. Now they call Babenge engineers. They are well-known consultant in mechanized tunneling. That was north of Germany. And then the COVID started, and that was very challenging because unfortunately my mother got COVID, and then she did not make it, and that was a pull for me to go back to Brazil and to be close to my family. So I opened my company in 2020, Tungel, in Brazil, and I also became part of the Brazilian Tunneling Association as the treasurer, and then I started my postdoc at the São Paulo University. Now I'm the coordinator of geology for Line 2 Green, São Paulo. It's the consortium of EGIS that has it's a French company. We are looking into this very long project with that will have one machine, probably starting in 1 year from now. So that's a bit about me. Please, if you have any questions, any further questions, I'm open to answer that. This was our introduction. We will start in the next class with some content. Thanks a lot.